In this video we'll learn about bubble sort using assembly. Okay, so you might have done the bubble sort program in C, C++ or any other programming language. It is the simplest sorting algorithm. Okay, so here I will not be telling you about how bubble sort works, okay, but I will tell you how bubble sort will work in assembly. Okay, so usually what you do is, in regular programming languages you use two loops. Okay, and one loop is branch inside the other loop. Okay, or you can say nested inside the other loop, that will be the better word. And what happens is, at every pass, okay, you run an inner loop, okay, which compares one digit to other. So what will happen here is, we will use this variable to increment. Okay, so we'll use this source index register, okay, to load these numbers, okay, whatever numbers will be loaded here, and we'll compare alongside destination index. So as soon as this loop starts, this will be the outer loops here. So here we will take two counters. Okay, cx is for inner loop, dx is for the outer loop. Okay, so let's write that condition so that you can understand. Okay, so simple for loop. Okay, so let's say you have like I is equals to 0, I less than 10, I plus plus. Okay, and open brackets, and for j equals to 0, j less than 10, j plus plus. Okay, so this way we'll use here. Okay, so here many people modify this second condition a bit. Okay, so they use less than I at this place or something likewise. Okay, so that's the hack that we use in C, C++. Okay, so but at this point we are doing a very simple program, so we'll not be using any such hacks here. Okay, even that can be done. Okay, but for now we'll not do that thing. So here consider that there are two simple loops here. Okay, so here this loop will be represented, or you can say we will decrement here. Okay, so here we are writing incremental loops, in assembly we will be writing decremental. Okay, so there will the counter, here the counter is incrementing, in our case the counter will be decrementing. So here assume that you are, for the inner thing I have used dx, sorry, let me check, no, for the inner I have used cx, and for the outer one I have used dx. Okay, so what will happen is, cx will run like you have 10 elements, so cx will be first loaded with 10. Okay, then there will be instruction called move cx comma 10. So what will happen is, once cx becomes 0, okay, so this whole loop becomes 0, it will drop back to this thing, outer loop. So here once again I will decrement dx by 1, and alongside what I will do is, I will again set cx to 10. Okay, so this way I will loop this thing, and alongside what I will do is, I will increment this di and si as well accordingly. So di will be incremented only at a single pass. Okay, so like after every 10 comparisons, in this case 10. Okay, so every 10 comparison di will be incremented only once, and for every comparison, that is the inner loop, will be incrementing si at every step. Okay, so this is what I've tried to explain you in what I could explain in the easiest way. So now let's get started and let's write the code here. So here, just like all our programs, we write, begin with assume cs colon code ds colon data, and data segment here num arr. Okay, you can use any different name as well, it's not any reserved word or anything, sorry. And now here I will write 04h, 02h, 03h, 07h, 11h, and 10h. Okay, so how many elements we have? 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, that's fine. so data ends. And now let's begin with the code segment. Okay, code ends, and start. So for larger programs it's preferable you write all this extra nonsense that we write first and then get started. Move ax comma data, move ds comma ax, sorry. So here, as I said earlier, okay, we have seen what we have to do is load cx and dx with the number of variables or number of elements in the array. So here we have 1 2 3 4 5 6, so we have 6. So what I will do is move cx comma 06h, move dx comma 06h, and then I have to load these two index pointers. So for this thing, loading the index pointers with the memory location of num arr. So for that, yesterday or in the previous video we had seen the command lea, that is the load effective address. So lea si comma num arr lea di comma num arr. Okay, so we are loading num arr both at si as well as di. So what I will do here is the value of di I will transfer to bl comma di this way. Okay, so if you forget this thing, this will give it an error. Okay, so do not forget that thing. And after that, what I will do is move al comma si. Okay, so from here I will start writing the comments. Okay, let me take this thing. CLR, let's write here counter for inner loop, counter for outer loop. Okay, inner loop memory location, outer loop memory location. Think of it, C or C++ or any language way. Okay, so that will be easier to understand if you can draw the analogy between these two languages. That will be easier to understand. So here I am loading the first variables or the initial indexes of both these things. So load the value, load the values. So after this, what I will do is I will do a uploaded the values, so I will do a comparison here. See here al comma bl. So if jl, so jl means jump if lower. Okay, so jl skip swipe. Okay, so here we are doing skip swap, sorry. So here we are doing the ascending order. So for ascending order you have to use jl here. Okay, if large, then you have to skip the swipe. Okay, and if it's smaller, sorry, jump if less, sorry, I messed it up. JL is jump if less and JG is jump if greater, sorry. So jump if less, so here the value, if the value is less, then we don't need to swipe because we are doing an ascending order. Okay, in this case we don't need to swipe if the value is less. So here what I will do is move di. Okay, so di. So here whatever we have written will inverse these two things. Now here I will transfer AL data to BL. So for that I am writing this thing, move SI comma BL. Okay, once this is done, now what we have to do is we have to increment this thing. So here I will place that label skip swap. Okay, so below that I will write EC CX. Here I will decrement the inner loop. Okay, and before that I need to write INC SI. Okay, so here SI only will be incremented, we are not incrementing DI. DI is still holding the same value, but if the swap occurs here, DI will have some other value. So from this point we need to take a jump back. Okay, so here jump if not 0 next num. Okay, next num will be here. Okay, so this will again be the jump. Okay, next num don't forget to put the colon here. Okay, just that you don't mess up with things. Okay, so here it will load the fresh values, and now what will happen here is once you get here, now if this becomes 0, so here you need to remember SI will be at the last location here as we are incrementing, and SI needs to be reloaded first. Okay, reloaded to what? This same thing. So we write the same command here, lea si comma num arr. So again SI will go back to the origin. Okay, for the next pass, and this thing INC DX. Okay, so DX will be increment, sorry, DEC will be DX will be decremented, but before that what I have to do is increment DI. Okay, increment DI. So here I will write comments for this thing as well, but let me figure it out. Okay, so here actually the swapping occurs, so let me write here swapping. Okay, these two lines are swapping. Okay, swapping value of AL with copying, sorry, not swapping, copying value of AL into location pointed by DI, and here we are copying value of BL into location pointed by SI. Okay, done. Increment memory location, decrement inner counter. Okay, so here jump back till current pass ends. Okay, so jump back, it will take this point only, and here we have incremented this thing, incremented DX, and now here also we have to write J and Z next num. and here we will write interrupt 03 03h. Okay, so where is that thing? Okay, TASM. BB sort. ASM. Hopefully we have not made any mistakes so far. Let me check once. No, doesn't seem to be mistake. Okay, if there's anything wrong, we'll have to figure out. Reload the origin address. Okay, reload the origin address, the data block. Okay, we forgot one step actually, sorry. So here what you need to do is you need to load the count again, as I said earlier. See, in this diagram I had drawn somewhere. So what you need to do is move cx comma 05h. So increment the, you can say, memory location of outer loop, or you can say via outer loop, pointed via outer loop. So here you can say pointed via inner loop. Okay, so fair enough. So this should be reload count for the next pass. Increment dx and outer counter, and it should be done. Okay, so now let's load up the assembler. Mount C colon a bb sort dot asm undefined symbol next num. Okay, sorry, next num, we forgot a t. Okay, so error message is none, warning message is none, pass is 1. Okay, let's go for t-link bb sort td bb sort dot exe. Now let's see if we haven't made any mistakes. So first you need to, for this specific programs, you need to go here in view and open the dump here. Okay, so currently there will be like garbage data here, so you need to see here, you can see the garbage data is there. So what I will do is I will start the program. So here, if you are not aware currently that what actually these first two statements do, then they will load the data here. See, ax will have the data here. See, ax comma data, if I am doing, it will load it, this address, starting address, into this thing of the data index or the data segment, sorry, and then that will be transferred to the ds. So data segment will begin from that, or data segment will get that origin. So if you are pressing F8 ds.ax, is it done? Okay, let me see, sorry, right, F3 F10 view dump. Yeah, see, now you can see the new values. So here if you keep on pressing the F8, you will see the values that are being swapped. So this is the initial array. See, 04 02 03 07 11 and 10. So these are our values here. So F8, F8. So here you can see this counter, both are loaded by 6 here. Oh sorry, I have loaded it by 5 here, no? So we are making a mistake. Okay, wait a minute. 06, save. bbsort.sm t-link, okay, and td. So here what we'll do is, first we'll load this thing ds, x, and then we'll open the dump. See here, go into this and open dump. So in dump you can see live it can change. Okay, so you have to take a look at this counters as well. Okay, so they will also change. So F8, see counter is loaded now at counter statement. You can see here a black arrow is pointing to this thing. So now dx will be loaded now. Yeah, see both are loaded at 6 and they are now at, see BL value will now change. The BL value will now be 04. Okay, lower pair, see here 4, and now the AL value will also be 04 of, excuse, F10 dump. Okay, F8 04, and now the next instruction, so this way it will keep executing. Okay, we'll keep pressing this thing. If you can see, the swap is occurring here. See here, see here, you can see the values changing. In the first pass we got the smallest number 2. In the next pass we will get the second smallest number. This way it will go on. Okay, see 3. Now we should get 4 in the next pass. See here, see here, you got 4 here. You can see here, this is being sorted. If you observe carefully, you can see this thing. Four, now 7, and the last value is remaining, that is 10. CX P now 0. Okay, so finally CX is 0, DX is now 0. See here, DX is now 0. So after DX is 0, you will finally see the interrupt 3, that is the breakpoint. Okay, so this is where the program ends. So here you can see now this is the sorted array: 02, 03, 04, 07, 10, 11. Okay, so this is it. And if you want to directly run this thing as well, you can do that as well. Okay, so here if you close this thing, Alt F3, and now let's close this thing and run again. See here, you will have directly a run option here. Okay, it will directly stop at the breakpoint here. Okay, that is the int03. So for people who are not unversed about what actually this int03 does, then it will stop the program at that point. It will not execute all the instructions below that. See here, so if I run this thing, it will stop at the int03 instruction. See here. Okay, and these are the final values that are being loaded, and we can check the dump here. View dump, and you should see the sorted array. See here, 02 03 04 07 0 10 11. Okay, so this is how actually sorting works. And if you want to do a descending sort, okay, so for descending part you only have to change one condition here. So that one condition has to be this here, the comparison that you are doing. If you change it to JG, okay, here we are doing jump if less, and the inverse would be jump if greater. Okay, so in that case the output will be the descending order. Okay, so you have to reassemble it. Okay, so relink, reassemble, and okay, so F10 run, F10 view dump. See here, you can see 11 10 7 4 3 2. See here, these are the numbers 04 02 03 07 11 10. Okay, so this is how you can sort it in descending order. So this is probably the most easiest programs, okay, that you could do, which is, you can say, on the somewhat on the complex scale as well as the easier thing. Okay, so without the comments it gets problematic sometimes, but it's easier. With practice you can do all these things. Okay, so for this video we'll end at this point only. So in the next video we'll probably try to do some interrupt related work. Okay, so there's some other program also like block copy and stuff. Okay, but I guess rather than taking those programs I decided to take directly the sorting part. Okay, so in future programs we could also try like quick sorting and stuff. Okay, but that will be the advanced part. Okay, not now. As soon as we complete like 10 or 12 tutorial videos, after that we'll see if we want we can do those algorithms as well as a challenge. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you.